Well, Daniel, thank you so much for being here with us. Exciting times for MedMen. We'll get into why in just a second. But for our viewers who might not be familiar with the company, give us an idea into the company itself and the business model.
All right, so we're based in Los Angeles. We are, I dare say, the biggest marijuana company in the United States. We are a licensed cultivator, manufacturer, and retailer of cannabis in 3 states currently, in California, Nevada, and New York.
And we said earlier, exciting times for the company. You're just starting to trade on the CSE,
Right.
nearly $1 billion valuation. Talk to us about the impact of that on the company itself.
Sure. So, this is the irony of working in the cannabis industry today. You have Canadian companies that are listing on the major stock exchanges in the United States, NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange, and you have the largest, $1.65 billion valuation US company listing on the Canadian Securities Exchange. And that's why we're here in Toronto at the LIFT conference, because this is really not just a US phenomenon, this is not just a Canadian phenomenon, this is a global phenomenon. I mean, I think the conversation around cannabis is really changing around the world. I think people who are familiar with this product know that it's a product. It should be regulated and only, responsible adults should have easy access to it. Obviously, it should be controlled. But it's a product at the end of the day, and that's how MedMen treats it, right? Yeah. So we're very high on quality control, and then on the retail side, we want to make sure that consumers have a very familiar environment where they can shop for cannabis products. I mean, we've been compared to the Apple store of cannabis because it's a familiar retail, environment, right? I know what it is like to shop for computers at an Apple store. Yeah. So if you come and shop for cannabis products at a MedMen store, it's going to feel very much the same way.
So let's talk again more about, the milestones for the company. I mean, after your listing, where do you go from here? What's next for the company?
So we're going to list on the Canadian Securities Exchange under the ticker symbol MMEN, short for MedMen. We've been one of the fastest growing companies in the fastest growing, industry in the world. At the end of 2017, we had 350 employees. Today, so now it's May, in the last 5 months, we have added another 400 employees. We're close to 900. I would say we're probably the fastest growing marijuana company in the US. That's because we have access to the markets that are, that have the biggest potential: California, Nevada, and New York. New York is a very restricted medical program today, but there are already conversations happening in New York that it will go ahead and legalize adult use. So really, we want to mainstream marijuana. We want to give consumers a friendly, safe environment for them to in which to shop, and I think it's a great business opportunity for investors as well.
Any plans to go national outside of the U.S. or go international, I should say?
Yes, we actually have a joint venture with Cronos Group. We're co-sponsors here at LIFT conference. So the joint venture with the Cronos Group is that obviously they are a Canadian company and they have expertise in the Canadian, regulatory landscape. They have production infrastructure, and so we would bring the MedMen tried and true, already proven successful retail model in cannabis to the Canadian market with the help of the Cronos Group. So yes, we're very excited about Canada. We're very excited about California. I mean, we're really just at the beginning of all this.
Well, finally, Daniel, as you say, you're at the beginning of this. The industry is also somewhat at the beginning of this. A lot of people are new to this space, whether as a consumer or as an investor. So what do you want, what sort of final message would you want to tell our viewers about MedMen, but also perhaps the industry itself?
Sure. So to the point that we're in the beginning of all this, right? So we're in the beginning of all this, but MedMen has been preparing for this moment for nearly a decade. I think we are really way far ahead of the gate in terms of how far we've evolved compared to the rest of the industry. So it's a great platform, I think, to capitalize on that future vision of what the cannabis industry is going to look like. So I think MedMen is a great vehicle for that. When I say it's just the beginning, I mean just generally like the potential of this industry, right? We're just seeing the surface, we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg on this, because I tell you, every day I see in California in our stores, this is not just about people who are quote unquote smoking pot today. This is about people coming into stores and finding out that you can buy, CBD infused bath bombs, you can buy pet products, you can buy lotions, right? Because this is not just about quote unquote getting high. This is about people having access to a product that will lead to healthier, safer, healthier, happier lives.
Well, on that note, Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for having me.
Great.